Hi everyone. In this video, I would like to explain about anti-Markovnikov's rule. It is also considered as a peroxide effect. Why it is considered as peroxide effect in the sense? So during this reaction process, peroxide is used as the reagent. So it affects the reaction process. So that it is also considered as peroxide effect. And here first I would like to mention about Markovnikov's rule before entered into the anti-Markovnikov's rule. So when coming to the Markovnikov's rule, unsymmetrical alkenes which on reaction with hydrogen halides or reaction with water, it follows Markovnikov's rule through the electrophilic addition reactions that leads to produce the respective Markovnikov's product. But in that Markovnikov's reaction, unsymmetrical alkenes are used and they react with hydrogen halides, but there is no use of peroxide in that Markovnikov's rule. But when coming to this anti-Markovnikov's rule, the extra thing that is peroxide that is used in that reaction, the reaction that is carried out in presence of peroxide. This is anti-Markovnikov's rule. Okay, so here you can see that unsymmetrical alkenes, it on reaction with hydrogen halides, not only hydrogen halides, when it on reaction with water, okay, they can undergo this reaction, and this reaction, it can be happens in presence of peroxide. If this reaction that is proceeded in presence of peroxide, it follows anti-Markovnikov's rule. Without peroxide, it follows Markovnikov's rule. Okay, so here you can see that unsymmetrical alkenes which are in reaction with hydrogen halides in presence of peroxides, it follows Markovnikov's rule and gives alkyl halides through the mechanism that is free radical addition mechanism. Free radical addition mechanism. Now we will see what is the thing that is there in case of anti-Markovnikov's rule. So here you can see that unsymmetrical alkenes which are in reaction with hydrogen halides or which are in reaction with water in presence of peroxides. That means if you can use any type of peroxide, hydrogen peroxide or benzyl peroxide, in presence of peroxide, it follows anti-Markovnikov's rule. And the obtained product is nothing but it is the anti-Markovnikov's product, which is the predominant one. So in the same reaction, if there is no peroxide, then it follows simply Markovnikov's rule. So this is the only small difference in the Markovnikov's and anti-Markovnikov's rule. In the Markovnikov's rule, there is no peroxide. But in case of this anti-Markovnikov's rule, the reaction which is proceeded in presence of peroxide. Then coming to the reaction of this anti-Markovnikov's rule. So here you can see that according to the anti-Markovnikov's rule, so in this case, the unsymmetrical alkene is there. So unsymmetrical alkene, here you can see that on either side of the double bond, there is a difference in the carbon number. That is nothing but unsymmetrical alkene. On either side of the double bond, there is a difference in the carbon number, so that this is nothing but considered as unsymmetrical alkene. Propene, it is the unsymmetrical alkene. So unsymmetrical alkene which are in reaction with hydrogen halide, you can use hydrogen halide, that is hydroiodic acid or hydrobromic acid or HCl, like that you can use any hydrogen halide, in presence of peroxide, that leads to produce 1-bromopropane, as major product or predominant product, that is nothing but anti-Markovnikov's product. So what happens in case of this anti-Markovnikov's reaction, that is unsymmetrical alkene, it on reaction with hydrogen halide. So in this case, the component consisting of hydrogen halide, in which the hydrogen, okay. So for example, in case of hydrogen halide, you can remember that the electrophile portion, that is hydrogen, nucleophile portion, that is halogen, because halogen is more electronegative, so that it takes the bonding electrons, so that it becomes X minus, that is nucleophile portion, and hydrogen, it loses the bonding electron so that it becomes H plus, like that. So in such case, according to this anti-Markovnikov's rule, always the hydrogen, that is the nucleophile portion of that hydrogen bromide, it goes on to the double bonded carbon atom, which is having less number of hydrogens. Obviously, the bromine, it goes on to the another double bonded carbon atom. So such compound is going to be produced as major product in this reaction. And this reaction, it proceeded through the peroxide effect. Peroxide effect. So how the mechanism that is there in this reaction? Now you can see the mechanism. The first step in that mechanism, that is whatever the peroxide that we are used in this reaction, because anti-Markovnikov's rule, it occurs through the peroxide presence. So whatever the peroxide we are using in this particular reaction, that peroxide, it undergoes dissociation that leads to produce alkoxy free radicals. So here you can see that this is the peroxide. It on dissociation, the bond that is there between the two oxygens, the bonding electrons are equally shared. So bond consisting of 2 electrons, so that each oxygen takes one electron. Here you can see each oxygen take 1 electron, so that you are going to get alkoxy free radicals. Alkoxy free radicals. So these alkoxy free radicals in the second step, these alkoxy free radicals, they attacks hydrogen halide. The alkoxy free radicals attacks hydrogen halide, okay, to form bromine free radical. So here you can see that alkoxy free radical, okay. So this alkoxy free radical, which is going to be bind with this hydrogen of the hydrogen halide by taking 1 odd electron from this bond, so that it is going to be formed as alcohol, and remaining odd electron, it goes onto the bromine, so that bromine free radical that is produced. This is the second step. Then coming to the third step, the generated bromine free radical. In the third step, the generated bromine free radical, it attacks the double bond present in the unsymmetrical alkene. The bromine free radical, it attacks the unsymmetrical alkene consisting of double bond, that leads to produce different free radicals. That leads to produce, there is a chance of different free radicals. So here you can see that if this particular bromine free radical, which is going to be bind with one of the odd electron of the double bonded carbon atom, which is having more number of hydrogen. So in this case, just you can see that. So whatever the double bond that is there between these two carbon atoms, just let us consider pi electron is there, pi bond is there. In that pi bond, 2 electrons are there. If 1 electron that is transferred to this carbon atom, another electron that is transferred to this carbon atom. So here you can see that, for example, if the bromine free radical, which is going to be bind with this odd electron on the terminal carbon atom, then you are going to get, there is a bond formation between the terminal carbon and this bromine, so that you are going to get this one, and on the second carbon atom you are having odd electron. So this is going to be produced in the form of secondary free radical. For example, if the bromine free radical, which is going to be bind with the second carbon atom. So in such case, the first carbon atom, it gets the odd electron. This is nothing but primary free radical. And here in this step, there is a chance of secondary free radical generation and primary free radical generation. But always according to the stability order of free radicals, tertiary free radicals are more stable than secondary free radicals than primary free radicals. That is the order of stability of free radicals. So according to that, here we are getting secondary free radical and primary free radical. So the more stable free radical, that is secondary free radical, which is the more stable one. So this is involved in the next step. So coming to the fourth step, the more stable secondary free radical, okay, attacks the another mole of hydrogen bromide. Okay, that leads to produce the Markovnikov's product. That is 1-bromopropane that is going to be produced as the Markovnikov's product in this reaction. So here you can see the more stable secondary free radical. Okay, so in which the carbon which is having free radical, it is going to be form a bond with this hydrogen of the hydrogen bromide by taking this one odd electron from the HBr bond. Then the remaining odd electron, it goes onto the bromine that is going to be produced as bromine free radical. So that in this reaction, you can see that the hydrogen with one odd electron, which is going to be form a bond with the secondary free radical carbon. So that here you are going to get CH2. This is nothing but 1-bromopropane. So 1-bromopropane, which is the anti-Markovnikov's product. So whatever the remaining bromine free radical which is going to produce in this step, again it can enter into the repeatedly enter into the previous step, that is third step, like that. Okay, so this is the mechanism that is related to the anti-Markovnikov's rule. And here also you can see that the reactivity of hydrogen halides in this particular anti-Markovnikov's reaction. So the reactivity of hydrogen halides in this anti-Markovnikov's reaction, that is hydroiodic acid is more reactive than hydrobromic acid, than hydrochloric acid, than hydrofluoric acid, because the iodine is less electronegative when compared to the bromine, when compared to the chlorine, when compared to the fluorine. So that the halogen which is having less electronegativity, it can be easily involved in the reaction, so that the bond it can be easily break down. So because of that reason, based on the electronegativity, the iodine is less electronegative when compared to the bromine, chlorine and fluorine, so that it can be easily broken down the bond that is there between the hydrogen and iodine, so that hydroiodic acid is readily involved in the reaction when compared to hydrobromic acid, when compared to hydrochloric acid, when compared to hydrofluoric acid. Like that you can remember. And another example under the same category of anti-Markovnikov's process, addition of water to the unsymmetrical alkenes. Addition of water to the unsymmetrical alkenes or hydrolysis of unsymmetrical alkenes in presence of peroxide. This is important. Without peroxide, it follows the Markovnikov's rule. With peroxide, it follows the anti-Markovnikov's rule. So here, addition of water to the unsymmetrical alkenes or hydrolysis of unsymmetrical alkenes in presence of peroxides. Okay, it undergoes anti-Markovnikov's rule through the free radical addition mechanism, and it gives alcohols as the products, because here we are using water in this reaction. Unsymmetrical alkenes which are in reaction with water, that means hydrolysis of unsymmetrical alkenes in presence of peroxide, in presence of peroxide, that leads to produce 1-propanol as predominant product, which is nothing but anti-Markovnikov's product. So according to that anti-Markovnikov's product, the hydrogen, it goes on to the double bonded carbon atom which is having less number of hydrogens, and the OH moiety, it goes on to the double bonded carbon atom which is left over. So you are going to get the product that is nothing but 1-propanol. Here you can see that hydrogen, it goes on to the double bonded carbon atom which is having less number of hydrogens. Okay, and on the other double bonded carbon atom, the OH moiety is going to be bind, so that you are going to get 1-propanol as the major product or predominant product, which is nothing but anti-Markovnikov's product. For example, in the same reaction, if there is no peroxide, if there is no peroxide, then it follows Markovnikov's rule. Then it follows Markovnikov's rule. In such condition, H plus hydrogen, it goes onto the double bonded carbon atom which is having more number of hydrogens, and OH minus, it goes onto the another double bonded carbon atom. Then you are going to get 2-propanol as the major product, which is Markovnikov's product. So that is going to be produced as major product in the absence of peroxide. But in the reaction, if they had given peroxide, then it follows free radical addition mechanism, and it gives 1-propanol as the major product, that is anti-Markovnikov's orientation product. So here also the mechanism same as that of previous case. Peroxide initially it undergoes dissociation that leads to produce alkoxy free radicals. So here the peroxide oxygens consisting of bonding electrons are equally shared, so that each oxygen gets odd electron, so that you are going to get alkoxy free radicals. In the next step, the alkoxy free radicals attacks water. Just make it small correction. Here it is water. Okay, alkoxy free radicals, it attacks water. So in such condition, the alkoxy free radical oxygen, it takes the hydrogen with one odd electron. Okay, so that it forms alcohol, and the remaining odd electron, which is going to be onto the hydroxide. So hydroxide free radical that is going to be produced. Okay, so here you can see that alkoxy free radical, it reacts with water. So that water consisting of hydrogen which is bonded with OH. So bonding electrons are here also. Hydrogen, it takes one bond electron which is going to produce as alcohol, and another bonding electron which is going to be taken up by the hydroxide, so that which is going to produce the hydroxide free radical. So whatever the hydroxide free radical that is produced in the second step, that hydroxy free radical, it attacks the unsymmetrical alkene, that is propene. The hydroxy free radical, it attacks unsymmetrical alkene, that is propene. For example, if the hydroxy free radical, which is going to be bind with the terminal double bonded carbon atom by taking the pi electrons consisting of one of the odd electron, then the OH group that is added to this terminal double bonded carbon atom. At the same time, the second position double bonded carbon atom, which is having odd electron, that leads to produce secondary free radical. For example, another probability, that is, if the hydroxy free radical, it goes on to the second double bonded carbon atom. Okay, if it is going to form a bond with that second carbon atom, in such condition, the first carbon atom or the terminal double bonded carbon atom, which is having odd electron, okay, so hydroxy group that is attached on the second position, and the first position double bonded carbon atom, by loss of its double bond, it takes the odd electron, that is going to produce in the form of primary free radical. So here you can see that in the second case, you are going to get primary free radical. In the first case, secondary free radical. So according to the stability of free radicals, always tertiary free radicals are more stable than secondary free radicals, than primary free radicals. So based on that, here the obtained components are secondary free radical and primary free radical, so that always the secondary free radical is the more stable one, so that which is involved in the next step, So in the final step, the secondary free radical, the more stable secondary free radical which is produced in that step, it reacts with the water molecule. Okay, so that the secondary free radical carbon, which is going to be form a bond with the hydrogen which is present in the water, by taking one of the electron from that bond, so that you are going to produce a 1-propanol as the anti-Markovnikov's product. So here you can see that this hydrogen with one odd electron, it is going to be form a bond with this secondary free radical carbon, so that it takes that hydrogen, so it becomes CH2 like this. Then the remaining OH moiety, it takes the another odd electron, that is removed as hydroxy free radical. So in this case, you can see that the product, that is nothing but 1-propanol, it is the anti-Markovnikov's product. So whatever this hydroxy free radical that is produced, which is again entered into the step 3. So like that, this is the mechanism that is related to the addition of water or hydrolysis of unsymmetrical alkenes. Addition of water to the unsymmetrical alkenes, or hydrolysis of unsymmetrical alkenes in presence of peroxide. That's why this anti-Markovnikov's rule, which is considered as peroxide effect. And here you can see some examples under the anti-Markovnikov's rule orientation. 1-butene, it is the unsymmetrical alkene. So 1-butene, which on treatment with hydrogen halide in presence of peroxide. So peroxide is given, so that it follows anti-Markovnikov's rule. According to that anti-Markovnikov's rule, from the reagent electrophile component, which is going to be added to the double bonded carbon atom, which is having less number of hydrogens, and the nucleophile portion, it goes on to the another double bonded carbon atom, so that you are going to get the bromine on the first carbon atom and hydrogen on the second carbon atom. Then you are going to get the product, that is 1-bromobutane, as the anti-Markovnikov's product. Similarly, the same 1-butene which on reaction with water in presence of peroxide. Here also the same hydrogen, it goes on to the double bonded carbon atom which is having less number of hydrogens, and OH, it goes on to the another double bonded carbon atom. Then you are going to get 1-butanol as the anti-Markovnikov's product. 1-butanol as the anti-Markovnikov's product. And here it follows the mechanism that is same, that is through the free radical addition mechanism. Whatever the mechanism that we have discussed previously, it follows the same mechanism. Initially, the peroxide, it undergoes dissociation, produce the alkoxy free radicals. Then it reacts with the alkene, like that. The process that is same. Okay, alkoxy free radical, it reacts with the reagent that leads to produce the respective bromine or hydroxide free radical. That hydroxide free radical or bromine free radical, it reacts with the unsymmetrical alkene that leads to produce the more stable secondary carbon free radical, Then the more stable secondary carbon free radical, it reacts with the reagent. Finally, it produces the anti-Markovnikov's product. Some more examples under the same category. Here you can see that 2-methyl-2-butene. 2-methyl-2-butene, it on reaction with hydrogen bromide in presence of peroxide. So here you can see that hydrogen, it goes on to the double bonded carbon atom which is having less number of hydrogens, and bromine, it goes on to the another double bonded carbon atom. You can see hydrogen, it goes on to the double bonded carbon which is having less number of hydrogens. Bromine, it goes on to the another carbon atom. So you are going to get 2-bromo-3-methyl-butane as the anti-Markovnikov's product. Okay, so if you give the numbering system, this is the first position, second position, third position, fourth position, because the major functional group in this molecule, that is halogen. So you can start the numbering from that side. So 2-bromo-3-methyl-butane. Okay, like that. Then coming to the same unsymmetrical alkene which on reaction with water in presence of peroxide, it also follows the same anti-Markovnikov's rule. Hydrogen, it goes on to the double bonded carbon atom which is having less number of hydrogens, and OH, it goes on to the another double bonded carbon atom. So that here you can see hydrogen, it goes on to this carbon atom, hydroxy group, it goes on to this carbon atom. This is nothing but 3-methyl-2-butanol. 3-methyl-2-butanol. So alcohol is the major functional group. So if you give the numbering system 1, 2, 3, 4. So second position you are having alcohol. So 2-butanol or butane 2-vol. Third position you are having the substituent, that is methyl group. 3-methyl-2-butanol, which is the anti-Markovnikov's product. So all these things, it occurs through the mechanism, that is free radical addition mechanism in presence of peroxide. This is anti-Markovnikov's rule. And you can remember that in the same reaction, if there is no peroxide, then it follows Markovnikov's rule. That means just opposite. So in that Markovnikov's rule, hydrogen, it goes on to the double bonded carbon atom which is having more number of hydrogens, and hydroxy group, it goes on to the another double bonded carbon atom, like that. Just those two are opposite in case. So in such condition, the hydroxy group, it goes on to the another carbon atom, like that, in reverse manner. Okay, so that is anti-Markovnikov's rule. Okay, so for more organic chemistry related videos, you can subscribe my channel and click on bell button for upcoming videos notifications. Thank you.